Greetings and welcome everyone. My name is Lokita Maka. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, welcome back. As you know, this channel is all about educating each other, from education to careers, bursaries, everything, and us educating one another has to touch on all aspects: physical education, mental education, emotional education, and spiritual education if needs be. And this is where this discussion is stemmed at, and it's a very sensitive one, very sensitive topic, but yet an important one. A conversation that we need to have, conversation that we need to start and continue with this conversation, because it's important and people need to be educated. People need to take part in learning, unlearning, and also relearning. And the question that I have at this point, the question I'm asking myself is, how many learners and teachers are going to drown into depression because of one, bullyism, and discrimination when it comes to spirituality? Now, how many people are going to lose that battle and take their lives because they cannot take it anymore? How long are we gonna keep quiet? How long are we gonna sit here and listen to people saying all the nasty things they can say about other people, and all we can say is saying rest in peace so and so, justice for so and so, all in the name of depression that has been stemmed from spirituality? People cannot be accepted in the society because of their beliefs, because they have a calling, and we keep quiet. We don't educate each other. And this thing doesn't start at schools. It doesn't start at schools. It doesn't start with other learners bullying other learners, or teachers not knowing how to respond to this type of bullying, or other teachers also bullying learners. It doesn't start there. It starts back at home. What do we do as parents to educate our kids about African tradition, about African religion, about African spirituality, about other religions? What do we do as parents in educating our learners, in educating our children, that just because you believe in something different doesn't mean the next person has to believe in what you believe in? And you need to treat them with the respect they deserve. You need to treat them with kindness they deserve. When are we going to have those conversations? For how long are we going to keep quiet and not educate our kids? For how long are we going to keep quiet and believe that it's okay to discriminate another learner just because this learner is spiritually gifted? And you know, this issue of spirituality cuts across all races. But when it comes to Black people, they are treated somehow. They're treated differently. You would swear they are the devils themselves. But when someone from a different race is gifted It's different. They don't get discriminated. There are races and also religions where people will have to put on some things. But when it comes to a black child who has accepted their calling and has to go to school, they have to hide those beads. Even if the school's code of conduct doesn't say you must hide them, but they will hide them because they are afraid of being discriminated against. Now, for how long are we going to keep quiet? When are we going to start having these conversations? Trying to learn how were things done in the past? Before religion was introduced, how did our people live? How did they do things? We need to have those conversations. As sensitive as it is, but it is important to start this discussion. It's important to start this discussion. People are taking their lives out there, not because of the calling, but because of how the society treats them. People are drowning in depression because of how the society treats them. They are called witches just because they have accepted the calling. And we keep quiet. Don't say anything. We keep quiet until that person takes their lives. Then we say, rest in peace, Mama. We need to have those discussions at home. Start with your lineage. Teach your kids. Teach them who they are. Who's their grandfather? Who's the great-grandfather and the great-great-grandfather? Start the conversation there. How these people lived. Teach them, or also teach yourselves. You also need teaching as a parent about traditional healing. Because what is traditional healing to us is what is European healing to the Europeans. But we feel that it's okay to westernize everything. Traditional healer comes with the cold and flu remedy that is taken, that is rejected rather by the society. But if this thing goes out, gets branded, given a name, then everyone accepts it. Just 2 years ago in 2020, everyone was fascinated about umhlonyane, a herb that we grew up using. But when COVID hit, a lot of people were taking umhlonyane, and some people even taking it wrong, overdosing, because they're not used to it, and now suffering from other ailments, kidney issues, because of overdosing. But had we appreciated traditional healing, indigenous ways of doing things, that wouldn't be the case. A lot of people When COVID started, we're now stimming. And those were things that were done in the past that are still done now, especially as a gifted child, especially as someone who is aware of who they are and why you need to stim. But a lot of people were stimming at that time. And we never asked ourselves, we never had that conversation, those discussions, had those discussions with our kids. Why back in the days from time to time, as a family, we stim. As a family, we purge. As a family, we cleanse ourselves. Now, I'm just starting this conversation and I want us to engage. I want us to be comfortable in discussing these issues. And a reason being, we need to be comfortable in talking about it. Even those who feel that African spirituality is wrong, a particular religion is right, then we invite you. I'm inviting you guys. Let's have this discussion. Let's all learn together. Because this is a platform for learning. We are here to learn. Nothing else. We are here to learn. We need to have these discussions. But we cannot sit down and hearing news that a child in this village from this school has taken their lives because they were being bullied for being a sangoma or for accepting their calling. We cannot sit down and feel it's okay that colleagues cannot treat each other well just because you believe that this particular colleague is demonic because they have accepted their calling. Now, the question that maybe we also need to ask ourselves is, are schools a safe space for people who are gifted? I think that should be the next discussion that we are having. Even if it means we have a live session, I think that should be the discussion we are having. Do kids feel safe at schools? Do they feel that they have to hide who they are? And if you are cold, you cannot hide forever. Even if you don't wear beads, you cannot hide forever. Because the minute you get into that space, you attract energies. You cannot hide yourself forever. People are definitely going to know who you are. And why should you hide yourself? So these are the discussions that we need to have. These are discussions that we need to start and teaching ourselves, teaching our kids how to treat other kids. It's so sad to hear stories of young kids, 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds taking their lives because they are called to heal other people. The people they are called to heal are the same people who are discriminating them, are the same people who are not accepting them. And sometimes this healing, guys, doesn't have to be medicine. Sometimes I just talk to you. and you feel much better. Sometimes by being in that room with that person who is gifted, you feel much better. It doesn't have to be medicine. Sometimes if you are not well, they will just pray for you and you are okay. You wake up. But those are conversations that we need to have. Discussions that we need to have. Otherwise, that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. This is just what I had in my mind, and a discussion that I felt we need to start, a conversation that needs to be ongoing, where we educate ourselves, we educate our kids. We relearn some things, we unlearn some things. Now these are the conversations that we have. Because we are saying we are in a diverse country. Rainbow nation. But where does it start and where does it end? We need to learn to accept each other. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It does exist. There are people who believe in that thing. But just because you don't believe in it does not mean it doesn't exist. It's there. So try and treat each other with kindness every time. Don't be the reason someone drowns into depression. Don't be the reason someone takes their lives. Just because you have said something that you don't know about, something that you still need to learn about, you still need to be educated about. Unless you have facts, then you can say those things. But if you don't have facts, then don't start that discussion. Don't hurt the next person. Thank you so much, my people, for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Until next time.